Today we're zooming in on Palantir Technologies, ticker PLTR, a stock that's been an absolute roller coaster for retail investors. If you're holding Palantir or watching it closely, you're probably feeling the heat of every price swing and headline. So let's break it all down. Current stock price, major news, retail sentiment, short interest, options activity, and what analysts are saying. Buckle up, because there's a lot to unpack. And I'm here to give you the full picture with the freshest data we've got. Welcome to Stock Hub, your go-to place for the latest stock market news, analysis, and insights. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's kick things off with the stock price. As of the latest market close, Palantir is trading at around $126 per share. In the last 24 hours, the stock saw some choppy action, climbing about 0.83% from its previous close. That's a modest uptick, but don't let the small daily gain fool you. Palantir's been a wild ride lately, with volatility driven by broader market sentiment and company-specific news. Over the past week, it's actually down nearly 5%, suggesting it's been testing a range between 120 and 130s, which some traders are calling a potential consolidation zone. For those of you watching the charts, this range-bound movement might feel like Palantir, catching its breath after a massive run-up earlier this year. But what's driving these moves? Let's dig into the news. One of the biggest headlines hitting Palantir right now is a massive $795 million contract modification with the U.S. Army. This is a game changer, folks. Palantir's bread and butter has always been its government contracts, and this deal reinforces its stronghold in the defense sector. The contract, reported just hours ago, is for ongoing work with their data analytics and AI-driven platforms, which are critical for military operations. This isn't just a one-off. It's a continuation of Palantir's deep ties with the U.S. government, and it signals confidence in their ability to deliver mission-critical tech. For investors, this is a reminder that Palantir's government business remains a core pillar, even as they expand into commercial markets. But it's not all smooth sailing. Some chatter online suggests concerns about government spending cuts could loom on the horizon, though nothing concrete has materialized yet. Now let's talk earnings and financials, because Palantir's performance here is what keeps the hype alive. Their last quarterly report showed revenue growth of 27% year over year, with commercial revenue stealing the show at over 50% growth. That's huge for a company often pegged as government-reliant. Profit margins are improving too, with adjusted operating margins hitting 37%. These numbers tell us Palantir's not just a flashy AI name, it's building a sustainable business. No major earnings or CEO statements dropped in the last 24 hours, but CEO Alex Karp's recent comments about AI being a force multiplier for enterprises are still echoing in investor circles. Karp's bold vision keeps Palantir positioned as a leader in the AI race, but it also puts pressure on them to keep delivering. Let's shift gears to retail sentiment, because you guys are the heartbeat of this stock. On platforms like Reddit and X, the vibe around Palantir is a mix of die-hard enthusiasm and cautious pragmatism. Over on Reddit, particularly in subs like r/Wall Street Bets and r/PLTR, the sentiment leans bullish but tempered. Some users are hyped about the Army contract, with one post calling it proof PLTR is untouchable in defense tech. Others are more skeptical, pointing to the stock's high valuation, trading at a forward PE of over 100, and worrying about a potential pullback if broader market volatility spikes. On X, the chatter is electric. One user, Victor Frux, posted earlier today about Wedbush maintaining an outperform rating on Palantir with a $140 price target, which has retail investors buzzing with optimism. Another post from Massa197519 noted the stock's recent dip but suggested it's holding strong around the $120 support level, potentially forming a base for the next leg up. The retail crowd loves Palantir's AI story, but there's a clear split between those riding the long-term vision and others nervous about short-term swings. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty: short interest and options activity. Short interest on Palantir remains elevated, with about 6% of the float shorted according to the latest data. That's not as high as some meme stocks, but it's enough to keep things spicy. If positive news like the Army contract keeps rolling in, we could see short sellers scrambling to cover, which might push the stock higher. As for options, there's been some unusual activity in the last 24 hours. Call options with strike prices between $130 and $140 have seen heavy volume, suggesting some traders are betting on a near-term breakout. On the flip side, put options around 120s are also active, indicating a hedge against a potential drop. This kind of two-sided action shows the market's torn. Bulls are pushing for new highs, while bears are bracing for a correction. Keep an eye on these levels because options flow can sometimes signal where the smart money's leaning. What about analysts and institutional investors? Wedbush's reaffirmation of a $140 price target is a big deal, signaling confidence in Palantir's growth trajectory. Other analysts, though, are more reserved. Some have flagged the stock's valuation as a risk, with one recent report suggesting a potential 30% downside if AI hype cools or government contracts face budget scrutiny. Institutional ownership remains strong, with over 40% of shares held by big players like Vanguard and BlackRock. Their steady hands suggest long-term belief in Palantir's AI and data analytics dominance, but they're not chasing the stock at these levels, which could cap upside in the short term. No major institutional moves were reported in the last 24 hours, but the analyst community's split, bullish on growth, cautious on price, mirrors the retail debate. Let's tie this all together. Palantir, sitting at $126, up slightly today but still navigating a volatile range. The $795 million Army contract is a massive win, reinforcing their government moat, while strong commercial growth shows they're not a one-trick pony. Retail sentiment on Reddit and X is a tug-of-war between bulls dreaming of AI-fueled gains and skeptics eyeing the lofty valuation. Short interest and options activity hint at a battle between breakout hopes and downside fears. Analysts are optimistic but divided, with names like Wedbush cheering Palantir on while others urge caution. For you retail investors out there, here's the deal. Palantir's story is as compelling as ever. Their tech is cutting edge, their contracts are stacking up, and their commercial push is gaining traction. But this is a stock that thrives on big-picture belief, and that comes with volatility. The market's watching every move, and so should you, whether it's tracking contracts, earnings, or those key support levels around $120. Thanks for watching Stock Hub. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.